We're going to use a Sites plugin for this. I already have it enabled in my environment, but you can see that there are a couple options here for building different types of sites. I'm going to click Try Now. It's going to drop me into a new chat. Instead of this initial prompt here, I'm going to copy in something specific for this like social creator site. So I'm going to do that. So I want like a social link in bio page with a newsletter sign up form, also a way for a media kit to be downloaded. And then I've also given some instruction around like less is more design philosophy and keep it responsive. So let's start with this. We'll kick this off. And I also made this for me. So I gave in like my alias right here, my username, just so Codex has a little bit of information to, pin the concept to. As far as like the social profiles, we'll see if it links to my actual social profiles. If not, there'll likely be placeholders that we can update later. And at first, Codex is going to build the site locally. So it's going to be running on my machine. And then once it's ready locally, it will deploy it to the internet. It's going to be locked down at first to just me. So I'll have to sign in to access it, but I can edit the site in the settings to make it available to everyone on the internet. Nice, we can see it taking shape over here. We're going to do something cool too once this is finished. All the metadata is taking shape here, so this site is going to be good for SEO. You can see that there's already the meta descriptions and then getting the OG image as well. So this image was actually generated by Codex here that can be used as the default OG image. All right, now the site is deployed and it's finishing up here. We can see that I'll have to sign in to access it, but it does have a link here. So actually, let's open that up. And you can see that now I have this responsive site. So pretty cool, right? It's actually linking to social accounts for the most part. And then we've got this looks like as we start to collapse it, right? So it's still responsive here. And then if I wanted to put in an email and have that saved into a database that Codex deployed alongside this site, and then I can actually have Codex go and get the entries to that database. But first, let's make this public. So if I come back into Codex here and then I go over to sites here on the left-hand side, I'm going to click in here and I'm going to see that I've got this list of sites, the first one being what we just created. So I can share it, and if I do that, you'll see that right now it's only accessible to me, so just me. I can make this to anybody on the internet. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to publish it, so that will open it up. So I won't have to log in anymore, and then I can start using this link if I want to attach to like other social profiles so folks can actually go and see it. And then if I go into settings here, we'll see that I've got a name for the site, the URL, the domain, and then once again, who can see it. And then if I had any additional variables I needed to pass along, I could do that as well. Now, something cool here is that I'm actually going to get analytics here, right? So we've got a couple visits there. I'm going to go back, but we can also set up a custom domain. So actually, one second, let me go buy a domain and then we'll come back and set it up. All right, so I just bought a custom domain for my site, and now I want to configure it. So I'm in the site settings here in Codex, and I'm going to add custom domain and then add it here. And I'm going to be presented with some DNS records, but instead of doing it myself, I'm actually going to click this link here, which is going to open up a new chat, and I'm going to have Codex do it. So I'm going to give a hint here because instead of having Codex go through and figure out where the site is hosted or the domain is at to then configure it, I'm going to say it's the domain is at Cloudflare. So I'm going to do that. All right, so Codex recognized that I need to log in, so I'm going to log into Cloudflare real quick. All right, I'm logged into Cloudflare, so I'm going to let it know. And let's let Codex configure the DNS for me. All right, this is pretty cool. So Codex is now going to go through and add in these different records that are required to link up the site. So it's adding the CNAME first, and it's going to take the values that were given and then put them into Cloudflare. All right, so the records have been added. Now I'm going to go back into Sites, and I can come over to the settings and see just after a few minutes that now the DNS is propagated and I have a custom domain here. So I can actually access this domain, and this is where my site will live at. So let's give that a shot. So I'm going to copy this, and now at this domain, my site shows up. So just like that, I can go through once you buy a domain and then just have Codex configure it for you and go through those steps.